What's good, YouTubers and YouTubettes? This is JBsports, back again with another one. Very important fight this Saturday night in the super middleweight division, featuring the number 2 and number 3 super middleweights. In one corner you have David Benavidez, aka the Mexican Monster. That nickname was given to him by Iron Mike Tyson, who will be in attendance for this fight. Benavidez has a record of 26 wins, 0 losses, 23 KOs. In the opposite corner, you have from Nashville, Tennessee, Caleb Plant, who has a record of 21 wins, 1 loss, 13 KOs. His only blemish was to undisputed super middleweight champion Canelo Alvarez. So winner of this fight will be the mandatory for the WBC champion Alvarez, who also holds titles in the WBA, IBF, and WBO. Alvarez will be taking on John Ryder May 6th in his hometown of Guadalajara, Mexico. A lot of people call that a tune-up fight. I'm not going to disrespect Ryder like that. He's a top 10. Probably, man, you make a case he's probably top 5 super middleweight, but it's very top heavy. When you get past Canelo, David, and Caleb, it's a big drop off for the number 4 super middleweight and number 5 super middleweight. So I put John Ryder in the top 5, but it's a huge drop off. It's top heavy. 168 pounds is not like 135 pounds when you have a plethora of quality fighters at 135. You don't have that at 168. You got 3 guys, and then it's a big drop off. And 2 of the 3 guys are going to be fighting this Saturday in Las Vegas, Nevada, aka Sin City. Now, one of those guys should be fighting at 175 or should be fighting in the cruiserweight division, and he goes by the name of David Benavidez. But David Benavidez is not cheating. He's not bending the rules. He's just making weight the day before, and he's ballooning up to 20 to 25 pounds heavier than his opponent. And that will be the case this Saturday night versus Caleb Plant. So we will see what happens, and we will see what transpires. As far as the fight goes, it's the classic boxer versus puncher. It's the classic matador versus the bull. And can Caleb Plant stifle Benavidez offense enough to get the win? Or does he have the power to stop David Benavidez? I don't see that being the case, because David Benavidez is a naturally bigger guy. He's going to have a 20 to 25 pound weight advantage on the fight nights. And I believe he'll be able to absorb the punches thrown by Caleb Plant, and he'll ultimately walk down Caleb Plant and stop him in the 10th round. Now, if Caleb Plant can live by the motto of the great Floyd Mayweather Jr., skills pay the bills, then maybe he can outbox David Benavidez to a decision win. But I don't think he's going to be able to do that. He gets touched a little bit too much for a guy that is as slick and as technical as he is. He got touched in the Jose Ukitake fight. He got touched in the Anthony Durrell fight. He gets touched in every fight he fights. And he gets touched a little bit too much for a guy that has the technical and fundamental style that's on a very high level. He has a very high boxing IQ. His style is similar to Floyd Mayweather. He does a little bit of that shoulder roll too. He keeps his hands down. He knows how to control distance. He has a very good jab. Not only a very good jab, he has the best jab in the super middleweight division. He does a good job of doubling up on the jab. Has a great left hook, has a good right hand. He's a technically superior fighter, but the problem is he's fighting a guy that should be fighting in a weight class above, or probably 2 weight classes above the weight classes they're going to be fighting at Saturday night. And therein lies the problem. I'm looking for David Benavidez to walk him down, get him up against the ropes, maul him, a la Tyson Fury, work the body, work his beautiful combination. He has a beautiful uppercut, and I believe he stops Caleb Plant in the 10th round. I think Caleb Plant is biting off a little bit more than he could chew. I think he'll enjoy some success, particularly early in this fight. But once we get into the second half of the fight, round 7, round 8, round 9, round 10, you'll see David Benavidez taking over that fight at that particular time. So we will see what happens. And We will see what transpires. Very interesting fight. You got the top 2 and 3 super middleweights squaring off. It's a shame that this fight didn't take place a couple years ago when both guys had belts. It would have been a unification. But like I said in the previous video, belts are not as important in boxing as it was in the past. And this is one of the best fights that could be made at 168 pounds. I'm very much looking forward to this particular matchup. A lot of people saying this is a 50-50 fight. I don't see that because of the weight disparity. But if both guys were actually super middleweights, and well, in this case, it's only one guy that's a super middleweight. The other guy is a light heavyweight or a cruiserweight fighting a super middleweight. If you had two actually super middleweights fighting, this would be a true 50-50 fight. But I just think that David Benavidez is basically is a weight bully. A lot of people call Errol Spence Jr. a weight bully. You know, he's squeezing down to 147 pounds, and he's a bigger guy on fight night, and he beats a lot of his opponents because he's just a naturally bigger guy. But Errol Spence Jr. showed in the Mikey Garcia fight that I could box too. I'm just not no guy that's walking down my opponent and breaking them down to the body and ultimately getting them out of there using my size to my advantage. I'm a guy that actually can fight off the back foot. I have one of the best jabs in boxing, and I'm very, I'm on a high level technically wise too. He showed that in the Mikey Garcia fight. We're not gonna see that with David Benavidez. You're not gonna see him fighting on the back foot, inviting Caleb Plant to come toward him and use a jab, and every time Caleb Plant fight, throw his punches, had a high guard up, kind of like what Errol Spence Jr. did in the Mikey Garcia fight. We're not gonna see that. He's gonna walk him down, and ultimately gonna stop David Benavidez in the 10th round. So we will see what happens, and we will see what transpires. Let me know your thoughts. Who you like in this particular matchup, man? I broke the fight down, but it's just kind of like I'm breaking the fight down, but I know that ultimately the outcome is going to be the much bigger guy walking down the much smaller guy, and he has just enough talent-wise as far as being a real good boxer. He's a boxer puncher. He's just not some come-forward fighter with no defense. He has enough boxing ability to use the advantage that he has size-wise to ultimately get a guy that's, in my opinion, technically superior to him up out of there. So we will see what happens, and we will see what transpires. Follow me on Facebook, Gerard.Briscoe.3551. Like, share, and subscribe to JB Sports. The man, the myth, the legend, and I holla.